Good evening. My name is David Gutterman. I'm a cardiologist and a basic researcher from the Medical College of Wisconsin, and soon to be your 73rd president of the ACCP. Tonight, I'd like to do three things. First, I want to tell you about my vision for the college. It's a little bit different than what you may have heard in the past. And second, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, but I won't let that take long because I know I'm all that's keeping you from the reception. And third, I have an assignment for each of you. Actually, it's a challenge that will benefit you and benefit the college. You know, the ancient Chinese proverb was prescient. We do live in interesting times. We face a rapidly evolving healthcare system, unsustainable increases in healthcare costs, all during a lingering global recession, and increased government regulation of the practice of medicine. So business as usual will just not work. The question is, how can we as healthcare deliverers respond to these interesting times? How can we ensure that we continue to deliver the best patient-centered care? We cannot do it alone. The answer requires a collective effort organized by professional societies like ACCP. And the greatest challenge to any organization in times like this is to avoid stagnation, remain relevant and vital, and to be able to adapt. And that is the main point I want to convey tonight. A changing environment requires the college to adopt a more coordinated and nimble approach. We have got to change with the times in order to keep ahead, let alone just keep up. The ACCP is doing this now in three different ways: through greater collaboration among our leadership and members, through better integration of systems within the college, as commonly referred to as breaking down silos, and by being more strategic in our relationships with other societies. The problem is it's no longer good enough to work faster and harder. We have to work smarter. We must be more agile to navigate in such a rapidly changing environment. You know, 5 years from now, chest physicians are going to need a totally different kind of support from the ACCP for their ability to care for patients. We have to be able to deliver that support. Thus, the theme of my presidency is to create a collaborative, integrative, cooperative environment that will allow the college to remain relevant and best support our members. Collaboration, integration, cooperation. No, it doesn't matter how you say it. It's not a very catchy theme, but it is necessary in order to succeed in these times. So let me tell you a story that will bring this to light. Stephen Covey, in his book, The Eighth Habit, describes a poll that he did of 23,000 employees from a number of different companies. He found that only 37% of them had a clear understanding of their organization's goals. Only 1 in 5 was enthusiastic about that goal. Only 20% had a clear understanding of how their tasks supported the organizational goals. And still worse, 15% felt their organization didn't enable them to execute those goals. Now, this data, the way I stated it, is fairly abstract. So Covey used the same data, but applied it to a very human metaphor, football. So now listen to the story. If the football team members followed the same statistics, then only 4 of the 11 players on the field would know which goal was theirs. Only 2 of those 11 would even care which goal was theirs. Only 2 out of 11 would know what position they play and what they were expected to do. And shockingly, 9 players would in some way be competing against their own team rather than the opponent. So with this analogy, you can see how critical coordination is, whether it's on the football team or in an organization. And that you can also help understand my rationale for this theme, which I hope will lead Team ACCP to the Super Bowl of chest medicine. So how is the college preparing for the future? We're in the midst of a major transition that involves all aspects of the college, as Dr. Gutterman mentioned to you. I'd like to talk about 3 important examples of how we're managing this transition and how we are collaborating and integrating. The first is a paradigm shift in the presidential vision. Heretofore, each president has emphasized a particular theme, and that theme was imprinted throughout the college. resulting in a slight reorientation in direction each year with each new president. However, Dr. Guntapalli, Dr. Raouf, Dr. Mathers, and I have begun a new era in leadership. We are integrating our themes and incorporating them into the strategic plan of the college. This provides a continuity over time and more focus to support a combined vision for the college. This simple act has the potential to unite years of individually directed efforts into a coordinated long-term plan that benefits everyone. Now, the second change within the college is a modernization of our strategic plan to capitalize on our reputation as leader in chess education. The new plan takes advantage of our innovations in publications, simulation, clinical database development, and telemedicine, among others. It improves how we support our international members and revolutionizes how clinical practice guidelines are developed and implemented. In parallel with this plan, we are reorganizing the staff within the ACCP into a more integrated structure. For example, just by linking education with the international units, we are now, for the first time, developing multi-year, mutually beneficial contracts with international sister societies. Now, one of the goals of these new collaborative approaches I'm talking about is to tap into the inherent diversity within the college. Diversity on all levels is a monumental asset of the college. Diversity challenges stereotypes, it encourages critical thinking, facilitates innovation, and promotes personal growth by bringing a wealth of knowledge and a breadth of insight to all our initiatives. It is key to our success in these changing times. Let me give you a lighthearted example of the rich diversity we already have, just by polling the recent members of the presidential lineage, just those that I've been involved with directly. So our heights range from 5'0" to 6'7". I don't know where Al Thomas is, he's somewhere. This has to be some kind of record for an organization. Professionally, we span the spectrum from private pulmonary critical care to private pulmonary critical pulmonary critical care academic leadership, all the way down to investigative cardiovascular medicine. We, for the first time, as of yesterday, represent multiple countries. We have 4 religions represented: Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, and Islam, all working together. And we have 3 races: African American, Asian, and Caucasian. So how about gender? Well, arguably, we are least diverse in this area because there are only 2 choices, but we've got them both covered. But seriously, though, to be sure that we leverage the inherent power in our diversity, one of the first things I plan to do as president is to announce the formation of a presidential task force charged with developing a comprehensive, long-term plan to ensure inclusiveness and promote diversity in the activities of the college at all levels. Now, the final example of our transition involves an upgrade of the heart of the college, and that's the networks. The networks are the pillars of the content expertise, a concentration of the best minds you'll ever find anywhere in chest medicine. A task force is now convening to figure out ways to harness the expertise of our broad network membership beyond their steering committees, the committees that supervise them. The idea put forth by Ed Dellert is to create work teams that provide new opportunities for members to get involved in the ACCP. The goal is to support the careers and practices of our members while providing more avenues to get involved in leadership. And it accomplishes one of my goals of identifying new opportunities for non-pulmonologists. For example, here in Vancouver, we are engaging in a highly skilled cadre of ACCP cardiologists to develop simulation training and testing for echo and cardiac interventions. Now, the changes I mentioned are both vital to the college and empowering to our members. And that's critical. It has to be a two-way street. But in addition, these changes preserve a unique set of core values that set the ACCP apart from every healthcare society I know. I have to mention the unusual camaraderie among our members and a uniquely collegial relationship between the members and the ACCP staff that Dr. Guntapalli referred to. This relationship has been called the ACCP family, and it is singular among societies. Now, let me pose a question. Why, during time of transition like we're in now and I described, would a cardiologist be chosen as president of ACCP? Well, first, I think, is that good leadership is not defined by one's professional experience or expertise, but rather by a dedication to the mission of the ACCP and the ability to advocate for its members. And second, leadership of the college does not occur from a silo. It is now a distributed process that requires coordinated input from that diverse group of leaders that I just mentioned. As a cardiologist during my presidency in particular, I'll be seeking very broad input from multiple constituencies to provide more opportunities for our members to become involved. Maybe a more compelling question is the converse. Why would an academic cardiologist and research dean with NIH-funded basic science lab want to lead the world's largest clinical chest medicine society? You don't have to answer that, I do. But the answer to this question is quite easy, and it applies to every member of the college. Especially, I'm making my comments to the new fellows. In all that I've done as a researcher, or as an administrator, or as a clinician, the greatest contribution I can make to humanity will be through in my involvement with ACCP. That is what drives me to be here today. Think of the impact of what we do, writing guidelines to assist all our colleagues in taking better care of their patients, organizing educational programs, and maintaining a world-class journal to educate the next generation of chest physicians throughout the world. Think of the health impact of our anti-tobacco campaigns and our advocacy efforts, and the benefit derived from the humanitarian projects of the Chest Foundation we heard about last night. There is no better way to make a difference than through the college. I encourage all members, especially the new fellows, to get involved. By doing just that 18 years ago, I achieved the highest level of personal inspiration and professional rejuvenation of my career. If it can happen to an academic cardiologist and basic scientist like myself, it can certainly happen to you. Explore the college. It has many facets. Find a path that stimulates your interest and get involved. You will not be disappointed, and you will not find a better professional home, nor a more welcoming family of colleagues and staff, I guarantee it. Now, I want to help you take that first step in getting involved and promoting the principle of collaboration. That's the challenge I was referring to earlier on. I don't want you to leave this opening ceremony with only thoughts in your head and memories. So I invite you to participate in an interactive experience. During the reception immediately following this event, I want you to step a little bit outside your comfort zone and introduce yourself to somebody you don't know. There are no strangers here. Find out about their interests. At the very least, you'll get to know one more member of your ACCP family, but it's also possible you'll be taking that first step toward a new collaboration that you will cherish and will benefit you for a long time. That's exactly what Paul Stein, a past president of ACCP, did for me 18 years ago. Okay, I'm about done, but first I have to acknowledge a critical group of people who have supported my ability to participate so fully in the college. Let's see if this works. If I can get the slide. That's it. So this is my other family, and most of them are here today, sitting right down here in one of the first two rows. There is, if we can click it forward once. This is not working. Will help with the slides? Oh, well. Oh, okay, very good. I'll go in too fast. The first one is my wife, Libby, and then my daughters, Rachel, Alyssa, and Sophie. That's with the 3 arrows. Let's see who comes up next. My sister, Debbie, and her twin sister, Donna. Talk to me sometime about growing up with twin sisters, younger twin sisters. My sister-in-law, Stella, my brother-in-law, Scott. Those are Scott and Debbie's 2 kids, Rachel and Josh. And then the bottom, my parents, Bernie and Nancy Gutterman. I invite all of you to come say hello to them here in Vancouver. You can see them right up front. You know what they look like now. But I also ask you to say hello to me. Come up and say hi. And when you do, that'll count as completing the challenge I just gave you. So, but seriously, I really want your input. In case I don't greet you here in Vancouver, here's my contact information. Here you go, all of it, including my cell phone. I'll give you my home phone if you like. But I really do want you to contact me and talk to me and tell me what you'd like to do, how you'd like to get involved, and I'd like to help facilitate that. So I want you to enjoy yourself here at Chess 2010 and start planning for next year in Hawaii, okay? All right. Thank you very much for your attention.